Elijah had just did a great thing. He called to competition the prophets of a false god, over 400 of them, and he challenged them to get their god to make this firewood burn. Nothing happened. Elijah prayed, and a pillar of fire came down from heaven and burned the altar of God. The entirety of Israel repented. They were really sorry for what they did. But when King Ahab told Jezebel about this, she was enraged. And she swore on everything she cared about, she would get Elijah for what he had done. When Elijah heard that Jezebel was angry about this and she was seeking revenge on him, he got so scared. Elijah ran for his life. Now Elijah got on his knees and he prayed and he said, "Am I better than my forefathers?" This means the people that came before him. A lot of people wonder, why did Elijah run after doing so many great things for God? From what Elijah knew, doing something like this would get the whole of Israel, even get someone like Jezebel, to behave herself. That's what he thought. But instead, Jezebel was even more angry and she was now seeking for revenge. Having never dealt with something like that before, someone that truly did not fear God, it frightened him. And he had enough. He just wanted to go and be with God now. And he fell asleep on a rock, but what he didn't know was that an angel suddenly appeared to him. Now this angel woke him up and told him to arise. He had brought some food for Elijah. Now after Elijah had eaten, that food strengthened him for about 40 days. And he walked all the way up to a cave. And in that cave, he prayed to God. And then he heard God. And God said to him, "Elijah, what are you doing here?" And Elijah said, "God, I've done everything. I've been so zealous for you. I've did all what I can do. Your children have turned their backs on you again. All of the prophets that we had, those mighty prophets, they've had some horrible things happen to them. I'm the only one left." And God said to him, "Come out of this cave. Go and stand on the mountain that is higher than this. You're going to stand before me and I'm going to give you instructions." So Elijah makes his way up to the highest mountain. After Elijah had made his way up to that mountain, he stood before the Lord. Huge winds started passing by, but the Lord was in none of them. More and more winds and earthquakes were happening, but the Lord was not in them. Then suddenly, a voice came to him. It was described as a still voice. It was God, and he asked him, "What are you doing here, Elijah?" And Elijah said the same thing. "God, I have been so zealous. I've done everything I can for you. And your children still somehow go back to their ways. They've turned their back on you. I'm the only one left." And God replied saying, "No, you're not. In fact, I want you to go and anoint specific people. These people are going to go on to do amazing things. Kings over territories. One of them is even going to replace Elijah with double the amount of power that Elijah had." And then God lastly said to him, "I have 7,000 other people that have refused to bow to this false god. So Elijah, you're not the only one." Elijah understood the assignment and he made his way down from that mountain. Elijah went from summoning a pillar of fire down from heaven to running away scared because someone had threatened him. This shows that as great as a man could be, we are still human at times. Elijah understood that best. But behind us as humans that believe in God, though we may be incapable of certain things, there is nothing that God isn't capable of.